most were the changes came in last night, very late last night. So here's what they're saying here. So I'm just gonna skip to the dry stuff. We haven't yet discovered or try out the drive system, the new system in WoW. You can drive the car. I'll skip this one for now, but should be out very soon. Frost Decay. What did they do? So they're buffing the 2 set and 4 set. Okay, let me check it out. Spells and abilities have a chance to activate winning streak, increasing the damage of your Frost Strike Glacial Advance by 4%, stacking up 8 times. Frost Strike in Glacial Advance has 8% chance to remove winning streak. Okay, fair enough. Let me just see the 4 set. Causing Frost Strike and Glacial Advance to have 8% chance to cast Frost Sight per stack at 50% effectiveness. Okay, so this is looking promising and way better than before. So Frost Decay is getting a slight, I don't know if it's slight, but definitely getting a buff here. At least first impression. For casting Frost Sight at 125 effectiveness and gaining 12% haste for 6 seconds. Wow, okay. Looking to be promising so far. Good stuff. That's about Frost Decay so far. Nothing for Unholy, nothing for Blood Decay. Druid, Moonken form has been added to the class talent 3 in Sunfire previous position. Okay, so they pretty much want to make sure that... I think this is more of like a restoration druid, being the case of deciding whether you want to go for a booby form or booby cleave or balance affinity or balance cleave. I don't know what do you call it. Or kitty weaving, which is again going to cat form, applying your dot to get back to the true human form, heal, etc. I think that's why they just did it. Other than this doesn't really affect anything. Obviously some fluidity form issues, but that's about it. Paladin's Druid now gonna level, you're gonna learn Moonkin level 10, whatever. Class 3, yada yada yada. Okay, whatever. Feral Druid's 4 set. Let me check Feral Druid 4 set. Big winner deals direct damage up to equal to 800% of your attack power. It was 250, wow. So their 4 set was buffed more than 3 times. It's actually very, very significant buff to a 4 set. On top of this, the Apex Predator increased the damage of your periodic effects by 16% from 8. So they double the effect of the damage increasement on periodic damage abilities, and also gave you almost 3.2x on 250%, which is insane, by the way. I'm interested to see what kind of power can you get from the 4 set, but this looks to be very promising so far. Guardian, Raise has been updated. Strike with the might of Ursok, dealing physical damage to your targets and all other enemies in front of you. Damage reduced beyond multiple targets. What does it mean, multiple targets? Is it 5, 8 cap? What is it? Is it 20? Okay, this makes the Raise always do damage to the primary target. Alright, fair enough. Let me check right now. What else? Ooh, Flame Shaper Evoker. So Devastation Evoker played, there was some builds that played Flame Shaper, which actually were quite decent, at least from my testing so far. So let me check what they did with them. And Kindle reverted back to 20% of Essence ability damage. Okay, so they buffed it, but then they revert the buff, whatever. And Goof now is 3 seconds shorter cooldown from 27. That's good. That's gonna give you some more AoE damage because of your Fire Breath. Consuming Flame now consumes 2 seconds of Fire Breath, and Dream Breath was 4 seconds. That's actually very good for the primary target. Consuming Flame damage is now 750 of the amount consumed was 375, and healing is now 300. Wow, this actually double. This is like 100% buff. I want to try Death Evoker now with Flame Shaper. This sounds to be very good, by the way. Expand lungs, increase damage of your healing over time of breath, of Fire Breath, and the Dream Breath by 30%. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Let me check Augmentation Evoker. Hold up. Even Might, affecting damage and tanks, yada yada yada. But that's something that we already know. This was present last week. Even Might no longer applies to tanks and healers. We already know that. Now keep in mind that Scales, which provide armor to the tank, is still on, and 3% more healing to the healer is still on. You know, you can also pre-science them. You can also give them things like Zephyr and Grips, you know. So those kind of tools are still on the table. Okay. Even Might, closest clutches, which is pretty much the amplifier for party members to make Evil Might more powerful. Even might imperative ions are now 25% more effective outside of raid. The amplifier, what I just thought. But this only applies to the DPS. Now, I've already discussed it previously, and I was like, okay, is there a possibility of seeing, for example, 4 DPSs in one tank because of even might? Now, there might be possibility in the future, but I think still in some dungeons, especially in the newer dungeons like Floodgate, you need a heal, dude. Like, some of the bosses are extremely hard to heal. But perhaps, maybe, there could be something done for them, you know? Yeah, so nothing for augmentation so far. This was already been announced. They just baited it. Hunter. Let me check. Hunter. Something about Pantera no longer requires fresh to book meat thing, whatever. RP stuff, nobody cares. Dark Ranger adjustments. Shadow Hounds have been updated. Dark Hounds now deals damage to nearby enemies when they attack for MM and BM hunters. Was Beast Mastery only. Okay. So now you can try it as MM too. Withering Fire stacks will no longer result after dungeon boss combat. Okay. Fixed an issue, causing black arrows deal more damage than intended for MM hunters in PV only. Wow. Okay. Well, that's kind of a nerf though. So not really interested in that. I mean, they kind of fixed the Dark Hounds. Now they're gonna damage for MM, but they also nerfed the black arrow. Apparently, it was bugged. You're gonna get more often Dark Hounds. Pack Leader, which is played by BM mostly. Rend now benefits from unnatural causes. Rend now can critical strike or soon if you appropriately grants CD R to flanking strike and butchery. I think most of the survival hunters already played Sentinel, but I'll be surprised if Pack Leader was taken over Sentinel Mythic Plus at least. Interesting. The summoning order is Wyvern, Boar, and Bear. Okay, fair enough. BM Hunter lead from the front has been updated. Now also increases the damage of your pets by 15%. That's actually huge for BM Hunter. Interesting to see. I want to try BM Hunter after the Pack Leader changes. Lead from the front. Sounds to be juicy. 15% amplifier on your pets where pets of your most of your damage. Sounds pretty good. MM Hunter, a lot of changes, guys. They're buffing Feathered Frenzy. Chance to apply a spotter mark to be 100% now. Ego's accuracy is being also buffing your rapid fire aim shot by 5% if you have a 2 points in it. It's actually pretty good. Unerring vision has been updated. Now increases true shot critical strike damage by 20%. Good. Was 10 before. That's 100% buff. In addition to increase the cooldown reduction effect of calling shots by 1 second. Unerring vision is now on choice note with double tap. Okay, double tap was the very capstone in the middle. Double tap was kind of bad, but now they buffed double tap. Aim shot and rapid fire are effectiveness reduced to 80%, was 100. Double tap is now granted by volley in addition to true shot. Okay, so you get double tap every 45 seconds and every 2 minutes with true shot. But the effectiveness has been reduced to 80%. I don't know. I'm probably still not gonna play double tap for sure. It's insane. You think so? After the new update, I mean, you couldn't test it, brother. You couldn't test it because currently there is no updates. You know, like PTR is not available. How did you test it? How are you feeling? I got you. No problem. Some fixes here. Yada yada yada. Survival Hunter. Spear has been updated. Now also benefits from your pet abilities and attacks. Good. Diddle been updated. Now also benefits from pet abilities and attack. Whatever. They made that scale 2.5 years in. I'm happy still. I'm still happy. Kind of late fixing, but yeah. At least from the front, increases the damage of your pets by 30%. This might sound cool for single target, but your pet does almost no damage in like AoE, so whatever. But for single target might be actually huge. Who knows? Actually, I mean, yeah, more of like a BM change. Anyway, that's all for Hunter. Nothing significant for survival. BM a little bit of buffs if you play Pack Leader, and MM seems to be getting the longer stick. The longer end of the stick, right? That's it. Did I gain some weight? Of course, I'm a fat dude. What do you expect me to do? I eat a lot, brother. It's also winter. Alright, Mage. Mage. Time anomaly procs now ignore mana cost. Good shit. You can run as arcane, poggies. New talent. Aether Fragment. Aether Vision damage bonus is increased to 15%. Choice note with the lay side. Barrage damage increased by 10%. Good stuff, by the way. But their precision no longer benefits from Benefits Arcane Barrage. Ooh, a hit in a knee, dude. Spellslinger, some changes here. Sun Fury also. Glorious Incandescence changes reverted. That's the upstairs one. Okay. So pretty much nothing for Sun Fury. They all of them been reverted. Alright, fair enough. Bug fixes on Spellslinger for Arcane. Frostfire, Fire Mage. Excess Frost cooldown reduction by 5 seconds was 10. Whatever. Nobody plays Frostfire. Everybody plays Sun Fury. So that's good for you. Frost Mage seems to be getting the more changes here. Damage from Frostbolt and Flurry increase damage of your Icicles engage your spike by 4%, stacking them 4 times. Ooh, Winter Tide seems to be juicy talent, especially on like single target actually. Good stuff. Winter Show now is 8 seconds, we already know that. Figures of Frost challenge trigger reduced to 5% instead of 10. I don't like this change, but I think it was inevitable for Frozen Orbs. We're getting way too many orbs, dude, whatever. Blizzard nerfed by 40%. This was actually expected. Because Blizzard got buffed several weeks ago by 100%, longer duration, 100% more damage, and bigger radius. So, the Blizzard was doing pretty much either the most damage out of your spells or second most, which is, again, arguably needed to be nerfed. Mistweaver changes, seems like to be a lot of here. I will check if I have something important to cover. Jade Bond redesign, Chikakuns now apply enveloping mist 4 seconds. When they expire or consumed, and TG gusts of mist healing is increased by 40, whatever. Was 20 before, and Yulun Soothing Breath by 500%. Okay, so kind of gives you more focus healing once your cocoons expire. Fair enough. Or more healing. I mean, I want to say no. Cooldown of Invoke GG Raid Crane and Invoke Yulun is now 2 minutes instead of 3. Good. 2 minutes cooldowns are always better. Jade Empowerment increases crackling Jade lighting damage by 300% and cleaves at 10% effectiveness. Wow, okay, so that is gonna give you better single target, but the effectiveness is being nerfed a lot in AoE. So I wonder how much of a nerf that's gonna be in AoE. But because it got baseline buff by 300%, 3000%, sorry. So I will see how that's gonna play out once I log in. Okay, all healing taken by 10% instead of 8. Fire, 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 fire. I like that. Alright. Wind Walker, finally some changes. The 4 set has been buffed. Fists of Fury damage buff increased to 8% per stack. It was 5. Good shit. Buffing 4 set. Hell yeah, dude. Slicing Winds damage increased by 33%, and the distance that level 1 empower moves has been decreased by 50. Okay. Zuen Bond now reduces the cooldown of Invoke Zuen, the White Tiger, by static 30 seconds. Hell yeah, brother. I like that. Last Emperor Cap now increases damage of Crackling Jade Lighting by 400%. Per stack was 200. I mean, I don't know if I'm too excited about this one. Maybe, I mean, it's not too bad, I guess. Power of the Thunder King has been nerfed a little bit. Okay, I think overall that's gonna be a buff likely because of the 4 set buff as well. CDR is now 30 seconds as well. Bit less RNG. They're trying to make Conduit work. Okay, buffing Conduit, it seems like. I don't know if that's gonna make anything. Alright, moving forward. Paladin, Holy Paladin. Let me check what he did to you. Holy Prism with more healing. Holy Shock, 100% buff of damage of Holy Shock. Wow, that's actually huge. What the fuck? 40% less mana. Sorry, 40% less, 40% more healing as well, on top of the 100% more damage. Greater Judgment Absorb reduced by 25. And Truth Prevails healing decreased by 20. Okay, so they're trying to offset some of the power to like Holy Shock, it seems like. Light to Dawn, more healing as well. Holy Light healing increased by 20 and now costs 7% of your base mana with 6.4. More healing but more mana. Fire. Divine Favor increased healing done by Holy Light or Flash of Light up to 20%. Okay, so I think they're trying to move away from like caster Paladin, because that was kind of cringe. Sitting there and casting Holy Power like an ape. Nobody likes that. Good shit though. I think overall those are positive changes for Holy Paladin, most likely. Templar Retribution Paladin Helmet of Light now benefits from undisputed ruling justice. Okay, so some amplifiers added to the Templar of Retribution, whatever. I think it was, I don't think that's gonna change much, but I'll test it on PTR as soon as it's out. Discipline, Ages of Wrath is being renamed, okay. No longer decays over time, instead increased duration of power shield by 5 seconds and absorption by 20 was 30, no longer used in PvP combat. Less absorb shields, it seems like. Okay. Wow, that is everything for Rogue? Just that? Only Hero Talent's Trickster. Coup de Grace now requires its target to be in melee range. What the fuck? That's all for Rogue? Last week they got nothing, this week they got nothing too. Shaman. Elemental Ascendance now requires a target to cast. Flame Shock and Lava Burst from casting it will always hit your primary target, okay? Lighting Rod visuals being updated. That's everything for Ele. Okay, dude. I mean, at least fix me my deity in Ascendance so I can test it out. Enhancer nerfs. Lava Lash, 20% damage reduced. That was expected, by the way. Doom wins damage now skills mastery. Ooh, that is a adjustments on damage wins. Seems like it wasn't amplifier with mastery. Voltaic Blaze. It seems like I didn't play this talent, but it's now gonna skill with mastery. Lightning Rod updated visuals, whatever. That's everything for Enhancer. I guess it's gonna be likely a net nerf because of Lava Lash damage decreasement is actually rather huge. Okay, so I'm seeing here Tremor damage reduced by 25. That's to be expected, by the way. That's even a small nerf. I think it was more. I expected more. Searing Volley also nerfed by 20. When active, Surging Totem is replaced with a relocation spell. Okay, so quality of life changes. That's good. That makes inexperienced people better at understanding and moving the totem. Which actually is pretty good. Restoration Shaman, O healing by 5%. AC strain by 25. That's gonna close some gap with the damage department, for sure. O healing by 5 is obviously welcoming changes. But I don't think that's gonna solve the whole issue of Shaman right now. But buffs are buffs, you know. And last thing but not least, nothing for Warlocks and some very small adjustments for Protection Warrior. All abilities damage increased by 5%. Shield Slam down by 20%. Buff, okay. Devastator is gonna give you more rage, double the rage, 2 instead of 1. That's good. More rage means more fun, means faster gameplay. Bruise of the impact stacks up to 3 times was 5 and grants 10% shield slam damage for shield block value. Good shit. I like that. Changes to Colossus, changes to Mountain Tin as well. To give you avatar for 6 seconds instead of 4. Okay. I think overall that those changes of Protection Warrior was to be expected because they nerfed already bad spec on PTR. So this is gonna bring them more in line. Definitely not gonna make them meta or anything like this, but more in line. I think that is everything for now in terms of all the